Hey folks, Cool18 here, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play for Sid Meier's Civilization 5. Now, I will be playing as Pocatello of the Shoshone in this series, but this is part 0, and it's just going to be introduction and setup, in particular because I'm going to be using mods this time. Now, I often resist using mods in games that I'm playing for a Let's Play because I'm trying to make a video that sort of everyone can kind of relate to. If I'm playing some weird, bizarre, out there mod, it's not necessarily going to be as relatable to everyone. But I have been playing a lot with the enhanced UI mod for quite some time in my non-Let's Play games. And it's gotten to the point where I really miss it where it's not around. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. I'm also going to use Info Addicts, and we're also going to use the Communitas Map pack. Not the actual mod that changes the gameplay, just the map script itself. So, or Communitas, I should probably say. So let's talk about a few of those. The mods I'm going to use are not going to affect the gameplay in any way whatsoever. They're simply going to change some of the visuals. They're going to have more UI indications on the screen. Now, one thing in particular, if I go into mods here, you can see out of the mods that I've got installed, I'm going to be running Info Addicts, that's checked. I'm going to be running the Communitas map, but I'm not going to be running the other Communitas stuff. Now, you might see in here, there's no such thing as the enhanced UI mod. And the reason for that is because of the way it works, it can't work as a regular mod pack. It's actually like a community-made kind of DLC that you install in your DLC folder in a very manual way. I'm going to have a link down below in the description box to where you can get the enhanced UI mod. But after that, you're sort of on your own as to how to get it running. Maybe, maybe you can ask for help in the chat, or actually there'll be a forum there that you can go and ask for any help if you get any technical questions. So, don't email me about it because I probably won't be able to actually assist you. But there you go. So those are the 3 mods we're going to be playing with. The enhanced UI mod, Info Addicts, which gives us some extra graphs and stuff like that, kind of handy, and just a different map script just to see that, just to see what it looks like. People have been telling me it's pretty good. I actually have, while I have played with the Communitas mod before, I haven't really been aware of what the map changes or not, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so we're going to do that. We are going to be playing on the Immortal Difficulty this time around. And we're going to be playing, oh, it didn't save my config. We're going to be playing as Pocatello of the Shoshone, which seems pretty strong. I actually haven't played a game as them yet. Oh, I guess I've got to go into advanced setup here. They do seem pretty strong. We'll put all these back at random. I was playing with another idea for another Let's Play that I might still revisit at some point. We'll come back to that another time there. But Immortal, right, so it's got quite a few settings. We're going to leave all the default, we're going to leave all the victory conditions on. And specifically, we're probably going to try for science or diplomatic this time. We'll get into the game. We'll talk about what Pocatello does. Although first we're going to talk about the mods a little bit more once we're in the game. We're going to see what the differences are there. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. So, the enhanced UI mod will do a few things. First of all, on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see that the normal scoreboard will be replaced. Oh, I hope the talking volume's not... That should be relatively quiet. Okay, you'll see the regular scoreboard that I have up normally is going to be replaced with a different type of ribbon. Some stuff at the top of the screen is going to be changed, but it's just a different way of presenting the same data. So you can see this scoreboard here. When we meet other AIs or city-states, they're going to pile up over here. And it's really, mostly I like it for the city-states because city-state quests will be shown in the sidebar all the time. So you can see at a glance who wants you to do what, and it's just so much more convenient. The other thing that's quite cool, if you do hover over a tile, you'll get some extra information there. Well, that's maybe a bad example. If I go to, say, right over here next to this river, no, it's still a bad example. That's too bad. I guess maybe once I settle the city, it'll give me different information. There we go. That's what I was looking for. It'll give you a bunch of info as to what you can do down the road that will modify the output of the various tiles. And I find that's pretty handy. The purple stuff are the various social policies that you can change. Blues are technology, and the white there is just an improvement, obviously. Excuse me. What else? Once I settle a city, and I was going to try to avoid settling it in part 0, but I may actually do it just to explain the pop-up. I think I'm just going to settle in place. Ordinarily, I'm a big fan of moving to the hill, but I'm going to try settling in place for a bit of a change over here. Is this an actual mountain? It is a mountain, right? Yeah. Let's see here. Well, I should probably move first. Although, what's it really going to show me? Because right now, if I were to move to the mountain, well, I would lose the river bonus, which means less trade. Yeah, that would be pretty bad. And I don't want to move on to the cotton. So settling in place is actually the obvious choice. We're going to go ahead and do that and settle Mosonkani And so we'll talk about the civilization soon. But you can see when I hover over the city, it shows me in green what tiles are currently being worked. In yellow are the tiles that are within my borders, like can be worked, and it shows me in pink or purple there which tiles might get popped on the next border growth. Same thing as if you click on the city, it'll show you which tiles would expand. Well, it tells you that when you mouse over. It's very, very convenient. And now, yeah, we'll get the same sort of pop-up over here. Anyway, that's it. That's the only sort of thing this mod does. It just gives you a few extra handy additions. And if the other one is the info addicts one, which won't be very helpful right now, but it'll give us some stats. In particular, going to the World Fact Book and checking the rankings in terms of technologies is helpful when you're trying to figure out who you want to spy on. And that sort of thing. So, all right, enough talking about mods. Let's talk about the nation that we're playing as. So let's go civilization leaders, the Shoshone. So we are playing as Pocatello. His great ability, his unique ability is the Great Expanse. When you found an extra city, you get additional territory. You also get a bonus when fighting inside of your own territory. Do I have like a passive trait on all my dudes? Is that it? Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that later. Oh, Pride of the Ancestors. Yeah, 15% combat bonus in your territory. Lends itself very well to defensiveness. Also lends itself well to having a big empire. You settle a city, it's instantly very big, which means like the more cities you can spam out, the better, because you're going to get much more benefit from it much, much faster. And you get a combat bonus while fighting inside of those borders. So the more territory you have, the better you're going to have it there. Now, the other thing we've got is kind of a unique situation in that we don't have a unique building. We don't have a unique tile improvement either, like Morocco or France, for example, right? But what we have are two unique units. Now, the Comanche Rider is going to come into play much, much later because it replaces the cavalry, right? So it's much further down the queue, replaces the cavalry, and it's cheaper and faster. It's got a movement rate of 4 as opposed to a movement rate of, oh, it's still 4, but I think it's because it can ignore +1 movement from the Full Moon Striker, which I guess is not factored into the base movement, so it must have a movement rate of 5. But again, it's going to come, further down, and it's going to be handy. Cavalry is very cool, but it's not going to affect us to start off with, which much more important is the Pathfinder. And what's cool about the Pathfinder is it replaces the Scout, and we actually start with one. And I don't know if there's any other civilization that actually replaces the Scout. Doesn't tell us what anything else. Yeah, it doesn't tell us what replaces the base unit, which is too bad. But the Scout normally has a combat ability of 5. We have a combat ability of 8, which is pretty good. And does it? Oh, do we also lose the Worker? I don't think so. I might be wrong, though. Sorry, the Warrior, I mean. Yeah, see, the Warrior has a combat strength of 8. Well, the Pathfinder has a combat strength of 8. Pathfinder is more expensive, though. It's 45 hammers instead of 40 hammers. But other than that, the bonus is that the Scout is it's still a Scout, so he gets to ignore terrain costs, which is really good. But what's really crazy, and this is actually the thing I did not know about these guys until I started a test game, is they choose a benefit. They choose the benefit when you pop an Ancient Ruin, which is insanely powerful. I could not believe that. I mean, I thought the territory bonus was pretty strong. That is insanely good. I don't care about their other cavalry unit. That doesn't matter. Just give me this, give me the extra territory, and I'm golden. So what we want to do is we want to hopefully find as many of those goody huts as possible. What really sucks here is that at starter Pathfinder, basically stuck in a corner. And potentially blocked off by some mountains over here. That actually may screw with our Pathfinder ability, because what you can do with the Pathfinder is you're guaranteed you can choose your thing. Now you don't. It's semi-random what you get to choose from the list, and I'm not sure. It may not allow you to choose the same thing twice, like in the list that it presents. There's some sort of weirdness there, but almost certainly you're going to be able to get the bonus culture and the bonus piety really, really early. In particular with bonus culture, you can probably get that 2, maybe 3 times, depending on how many goody huts you find. And as a result, you can burn down a social policy really, really fast. And while I do still think that tradition is pretty strong, and in the last Let's Play I did, I went liberty instead of tradition, I think with the Shoshone, Liberty is actually the way to go because, again, I really think that they work well with an extremely fast expansion strategy. Now, we only have 2 luxuries in our starting radius, which it would have been nice if we could pull off 3. But still, we have some redundant cotton that we can trade for some extra luxuries because, of course, if we are going to do a rapid expansion, we're going to need more happiness there. Also, the extra piety is nice because we can probably just use it for some early game happiness. Now, I don't think we're going to compete on the religious front, just because we are playing on Immortal, and the AIs get a lot of bonuses. They're going to get, like, all the wonders, basically. We might be able to sneak in the pyramids, which would be nice. I'm not sure if it's worth the risk on Immortal, but we may give it a try. Anyway, that is going to be it for this Part 0 video. Join me very shortly for Part 1 when we actually start playing the game. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.